Good morning. Today I want to talk about the effect of visualizing our whole being filling with light in meditation. And when we do this, we connect to the universal field of consciousness, or in science they call it the unified field of information of endless potentiality, because light is information, light is consciousness. So when we visualize our whole being filling with light, because energy follows thought, we literally do fill with light. We fill with the subtle energy we call prana or chi, and this raises the vibration of our whole being. It helps to increase the vitality in our body through our etheric energy body, or our chakras, our meridians, our nadis, our subtle energy system. But what it also does is it helps to bring healing energy into the body. It brings clarity of mind. It's said that through the act of meditation, when it's carried out by the soul of an individual in alignment with the personality of the individual, then there will be created in the physical brain a point of light. Now, light our cell walls can absorb light, and there have been examples in the past of yogis who have existed with very little or no food, and who have claimed to exist on light as the prana comes in and feeds their body and their metabolism. And there are studies that show, depending what sort of diet you have, depends on the fats in the cell walls, and this affects your capacity to absorb light, suggesting that fats that come from plants, seeds and nuts tend to mean that we can absorb more light rather than the fats that come from animal products. So we're starting to see that light is very important to our health. We know that full spectrum light helps to keep us mentally well, emotionally well. We know that we struggle if we don't have light. And the light that comes in from our environment, as we meditate and visualize, we can enhance this light coming in, and we draw in ever subtle levels of light because we connect to a universal energy that is light, that is this consciousness, this information. So we also know that this will increase our whole vibrational energy. So that's the frequency at which you are vibrating and letting your light shine out into the world. And this frequency affects everybody that you come into contact with. So when you raise your vibrational energy, you raise your consciousness, you're more self-aware, you interact with the world on a much higher level, more attuned to the soul, you tune to the soul of others, and you encourage others, your light switches on the light in them, and you help them to seek their highest self and their greatest light. We know that by envisaging light coming in and healing the body, that actually has an effect. We know that the immune system will then bring all the cells and all the substances needed into that part of the body for greater healing. We're starting in science and medicine to experiment with using light to heal. And in the future, it's written that we will use light more and more in our healing. There's also this idea that as we bring light in, we feel a lightness of being. We walk gently through life. We are lighter, enlightened, filled with light. And we can hold our mind steady in the light, which is where we can hold a calm. No matter what storms are going on around us, we are the calm in the eye of the storm through holding this light. So light purifies, it cleanses. When we draw light into our body and we go into a deeply relaxed state, we take our brain waves from busy beta frequency brain waves down into the more creative, expansive alpha brain waves, until eventually we, in deep meditation, when we're visualizing the light, we come into a state, a theta brainwave state. And this is very healing for the brain tissue, for the nervous tissue, and particularly for anyone who's been suffering long-term stress and the effect on the nervous system. And the theta brainwave state is a very powerful healing state. And it's also a state in which we have access to incredible intuition. It's the state in which we can imagine and create. It's the state just before, when we're going from consciousness to sleep to unconsciousness. So it's that state just between. Adults spend very little time in this state. Children under the age of 7, even some studies say 10, even up to 13, depending on the child, spend most of their day in this state. That's why they are so present and in the moment and so full of imagination and vibrant energy. So this theta brainwave state is induced when we envisage light coming into our being in meditation, and it's a very healing state. The other thing that it does is it increases, as we increase the light, we spark our intuitive wisdom. We connect to a universal intuitive wisdom, almost like that light is the connection to the information of the universal mind or universal consciousness. So often we get great insights and understandings in our meditation as a result of drawing in the light. And we know that in terms of our heart, we know from studies done by the HeartMath Institute in the United States that whatever vibrational frequency our heart is giving off, because our heart gives off like an auric field of its own, an electromagnetic field. And we know that the quality or the frequency of those waves depends on our emotional state. So when we're feeling full of gratitude and love and compassion and peace, very high vibrational emotional states, that energy that goes out from our heart contacts every single cell in our body. And our cells, remember I said our cells are receptive to light and they're receptive to this energy. And that acts as sort of an information for the cells that helps to govern the actions of the cells, right down to the DNA. We know that those positive emotions can switch on DNA that's conducive to health and switch off DNA that might not be conducive to health. And this is how we know that we are not a victim of our DNA or of our genetics, and that our environment, both our external environment, but more importantly, our internal environment, how we respond to our external environment, creates our health as much as anything else. In fact, I would go so far as to say more than anything else. And conversely, if we're full of anger, upset, rage, resentment, unexpressed emotion, very negative fear, overwhelm, worry, anxiety, that is a lower vibrational energy, and that goes out to all of our cells. And this is one of the reasons when people are very stressed long term, their immune system gets run down, their body gets run down, their vitality is low, their whole health is affected. So when we meditate to fill with light, especially if we focus on the heart and fill the heart with light, we're affecting that vibrational energy that's going out to every single cell in our body, as well as connecting to all cells of all bodies, and it affects every living thing that we come in contact with. So we become a light, a source of light, and we let our light shine. And so by practicing a meditation in which we visualize filling with light, we have all these positive changes going on. So I just wanted to make you aware of those. And now we're going to have an opportunity to actually put this into practice. So get yourself comfortable, feet flat on the floor, back reasonably upright. And we're going to go into our meditation filling with light. So just gently close your eyes, and we're going to begin by grounding our energy. So remembering that we are connected and part of this beautiful planet. So send a connection down through your feet or through the base of your spine, right down into the heart of the earth. remembering we are one and we are unified with all living beings, including our beautiful planet. And now gently come into the present moment. And we do this by focusing on our senses. So be aware of your body sitting on the chair. Become aware of the clothes, the feeling of the clothes on your skin. Now take that awareness to your sense of hearing and just open to the sounds about you. Just let them come in and let them be. And now take that same awareness to your breath. So just gently watching the breath come into your body, nice and cool. Watching the breath as it leaves, it'll be a bit warmer. And with each breath cycle, you're just going to take the breath a little deeper. And especially focus on opening a space in the center of your chest between your sternum, your breastbone, and your spine. So this is where we hold emotional tension. So just go gently and think of that space gently expanding as you breathe through that space. And gradually moving down your sternum, opening a channel deep inside, taking the breath a bit deeper until it's comfortable to breathe from your belly. You can place your hands gently on the top of your tummy, diaphragm area. As you breathe into your hands. Tummy fills with air. As you breathe out, your hands come back gently towards your body. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Now continue to let your mind rest gently on the breath. Let the breathing come in a natural cycle. And you will find as you breathe deeper that your mind calms. There's more space between the thoughts. And with a continued focus on the breath, you will find that you are able to step back from your thoughts and simply observe them. So thoughts will still come into your mind, pass through, and you just keep a gentle focus on the breath. If your mind wanders, as soon as you realize, just gently come back to the breath. Come back with an attitude of loving kindness. Just let the breath bring you down into a place where your mind is peaceful. You connect with a deep inner peace within your being. You connect with the light of your soul. Now we're going to use the power of our mind to visualize. As you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in light, universal consciousness. This is a pure white, healing light. It contains all of the vibrations of all the colors and their healing capacities. And with each breath, you're drawing more of this light into your being. So start by drawing the light deep into your heart center, between the sternum and the spine in the center of your chest. Just let the light dissolve any tension as you allow the whole chest area to fill with light. Let the light pour into your upper back, your spine. And let this light fill the rest of your torso. Let it fill your whole physical being. Let your heart be filled with light. Let your mind be filled with light. Let your energy field, your etheric body or your aura be filled with light. Until you are light. You connect with the light of your soul and know the two lights to be one, so all is light. Let this light heal you on all levels of your being. Let it radiate out to heal all beings. If there's any part of your physical body, your emotional or mental body that is resisting the light, or still feels uncomfortable or heavy, take your mind to that part of you and just breathe in the light. Let it fill with healing light. Breathe out anything that is not of the light. And just let it go. And just continue to hold yourself steady in the light. Allow the peace, the joy, and the love to emanate from your light. Let there be no limits to your expansion, to your light. Be open to the light. If there's any part of your physical body that requires healing, just imagine the light pouring into that part of your body, bringing balance, harmony, and deep healing. If there's any part of your emotional self, your mental mind self that needs healing, do the same. Now I invite you to gently arise from the meditation. Become aware of your physical body sitting on the chair. Just moving as you need to, but keeping your eyes closed for a moment. And then as we open our eyes, we're going to open our eyes with full awareness and let the light in to our eyes. And when we open with full mindful awareness, we see the world through the eyes of the soul. So when you're ready, just gently opening your eyes and let in the light. So when we meditate, envisaging filling with light, hopefully you felt what it does for us is ignites the joy within our heart, because light and love are intertwined, or one and the same. By filling with the light, we fill with the healing power of love. And this is something that completely changes our state of being. So any time that you find that you're not in a good state of being, you can envisage filling with light. You can envisage this light healing. You can envisage connecting to a universal light consciousness, that infinite potential, and that endless guidance and help that comes with the light. And as we progress as a human race, we will come to understand more about light and energy and vibration and healing. And really, this is an exciting time as we start to embark upon this journey of discovery. So in your meditation, whenever you feel the need, if you start to feel heavy, fatigued, tired, weighed down, overwhelmed, what you need is a lightness of being. And you can bring about that. We did nothing physical then, and yet we changed to a greater lightness of being. We opened to that lightness of being through the power of visualizing light with our mind. And this is the power of our mind. So practice this whenever you need to, and be blessed by the light. Namaste.